All right, hello everybody and welcome to another video from AA Sports Cards. And as you can see, this is another stupendous video. I'm holding cards in my hand, one of the Mount Rushmore rookie cards as far as hockey cards are concerned, arguably in the entire hobby. Bobby Hull's rookie card from 1958-59. I'm going to talk about both of these cards in detail in a few moments, but I often talk about how fortunate I am to be selling hockey cards as my full-time job, and when people send me their cards from across Canada and from the USA, because we have had Americans send us cards. We mostly specialize in Canadian, selling for Canadians, but every time that we get consignments in, it's incredibly gratifying that people who really don't know me, only know me from these videos, from Googling me, from my website, which are all valid things. And like I always say to everybody, if I was out to hoodwink anybody, I wouldn't be plastering my face all over the internet. But in the collectibles business, when people don't know you personally and they have the trust to send you their cards, I take that very, very seriously. But it's not just limited to the mail. And again, we've had consignments from every province across Canada multiple times. It's the same principle when somebody who I have known for a long time through card shows, and again, a hi, how are you, nice to see you. Also though, just over decades, just seeing the same people at a card show, making eye contact, maybe a little nod, that person coming up to my table and looking at my stuff and, just having some small talk, that really goes a long way when it's over a period of years, because you see that person again and again and again, and you start to develop a different kind of trust and familiarity. The person that I'm talking about has recently reached out to us and consigned some of his stuff. And again, that's extremely rewarding that this advanced hockey collector has some choices in terms of how he wants to sell his collection, and he's chosen us, AA Sports Cards, to do it for him. So with no further ado, let's look at some of his stuff. And he has consigned two sets to us. The 1958-59 Topps hockey set. This is part of it. And yes, I make these videos by myself, so I'm doing it all, directing, producing, talking, showing. There is the basic set. I just wanted to show some of the cards that I really like in this set, because it's a very colorful issue, and it has some, I wouldn't use the word unique, but really some cards that stand out, such as Al Arbor wearing his glasses. And I can relate because I was a goaltender and I never wore my glasses when I played. Hence, I was a terrible goalie because no NHL goaltenders wore glasses. Had I been, I don't even know what position Al Arbor plays, defense. I can see it on the back of his card. Had I been a defenseman, and I grew up in 1958, and I'd seen Al Arbor's hockey card, maybe it would have inspired me to play with my glasses, and maybe I would have had a better career. Anyway, there's Al Arbor. This is Ted Lindsay after he was traded from the Detroit Red Wings to the Chicago Blackhawks, because I believe the story goes that Ted Lindsay was trying to create a union for the players. And in those days, there were only 6 teams. It was very, very political. And if you made any waves, the owners had all the power. So Ted was traded from Detroit to Chicago. He seems happy in the Hawks uniform there, but it really doesn't look the same, does it? He's a Detroit Red Wing through and through. By the way, you will be seeing all of these cards on eBay up for auction. Our user ID on eBay is Vahuda. I wish it could flash across the screen, but let's pretend it does. VAHOOTA. Vahuda. We are on eBay. If you are in Canada and you consign cards with us, our auctions are in American money. You get paid in American funds. This is a really interesting card because it's Len Kelly on the front, but look at the shock of red hair. And sometimes Len Kelly is called Red Kelly on his cards, and you really can't tell his hair's red. I just find it hilarious that, I mean, that's a redhead, and they call him Len on the front, but red on the back. And I wanted to show a card back, so that was a good excuse. The helmet. I mean, that's as shocking as Ken Dryden's card with a mask from 1971. In those days, smart that he wore a helmet was Charlie Burns, but it just, again, stands out so much. A bucket on a card in the 50s in hockey. Second year card of Johnny Bucyk. You know, in those days, the Bruins were not a great team, and Johnny was, I think, you know, kind of in the 30s they were, but Johnny Bucyk, you know, put that team on his back for a lot of years until Bobby Orr came along. So there's the second year Johnny Bucyk. This is my favorite card in the set, and I'll tell you why, because most of the cards are poses, and this is somewhat of an action shot of Pierre Pilote, and I just think it's a really beautiful card. I wish they'd made all of the cards in the set action poses as opposed to that, the portraits. So I've always liked that card. Eddie Shack's rookie card, you know, I mean, arguably, obviously the Bobby Hull rookie card is going to be the key card in the set, but the Eddie Shack rookie card is a very desirable card in the hobby. I want to show the back. Some of the backs have wax stains typically, but the backs are clean. These are very nice cards, you know, strong VGX, X, X+. There is Glenn Hall's second year card. And there is Terry Sawchuk. The Sawchuk is the number 2 card in the set. It is very hard to find centered. This one is not well centered, better than some because all 4 borders show, but a wonderful card of Terry Sawchuk. There is the back. And here we go with the key cards in the set. So let's talk about the Gordie Howe first. It is a KSA 7, a very respectable grade. Anytime you can see a 7 NM on any kind of vintage card, regardless of whatever grading company is grading it, you know, it's going to be a very decent card, and this one certainly is. So you know, most of the time we auction complete sets as sets. In this instance, after discussing it with the consignor, what we've decided to do is we are going to put the Gordie Howe and the Bobby Hull rookie card up for auction separately. Both of these cards will be available individually, and then we will put the rest of the set on together, 64 out of the 66. This will all be going on at the same time, so a bidder can potentially acquire the complete set, or we can, you know, sell 64 of the 66 together, and then the Bobby Hull will go to a different bidder, the Gordie Howe will go to a different bidder. The objective is to get our consignor as much as possible because we're working for him. So there is the Bobby Hull rookie card, and it is a KSA 6.5. Again, a very nice card. This one has particularly nice color. There is the back. I want to go back to show the centering on front, which is always the key for the Bobby Hull rookie card. So this, again, very, very difficult to find centered. This one is listen, it's not really well centered, but all 4 borders show. And I think a lot of people watching this video, including myself, have seen a lot of Bobby Hulls that are very decent, but incredibly miscut. So all 4 borders do show here, which is very nice. So that is the 1958-59 Topps Hockey set, which will be offered very shortly on eBay, and you will get the opportunity to bid on, to acquire the complete set if you wish. And I'm looking for the next year. Okay, so the other set this gentleman has consigned to us is the 1963-64 Topps Hockey set. And I've made videos about this set several times, and I always forget to mention something that I think is genius on the part of Topps. So there is the base set. I'm not going to talk about those cards really very much. I want to talk about a few cards here. Just want to show some of the keys. There is the Golden Jet. Very attractive cards. You know, you've got the portrait and then an action pose there, which I'm going to talk about more in a minute. There is the back of the Bobby Hull. We have the Eddie Johnson rookie card. Not a lot of rookies in this set. Off the top of my head, we have Gilles Villemure, which I'm not showing, and Eddie Johnson. We have Stan Mikita, an early example of Stan. We have Jacques Plante, which again pictures him as a New York Ranger. Really cool. He's in a Topps set because I think this is his first Topps hockey card. In fact, I know it is, and you can't really tell it's a Rangers jersey there, but you know, to me, he's a Montreal Canadian. And then the checklist. The great thing about this particular example is it is completely unmarked. We will be auctioning this set complete. All 66 cards will be offered as a set. Again, coming up on eBay under our user ID, Vahuda, V-A-H-O-O-T-A, very shortly. This is the really interesting thing about the Topps hockey set from 1963, in my opinion. So it just featured the 3 American teams, Boston, New York Rangers, and the Chicago Blackhawks, because Parkhurst had Detroit that year. Didn't stop Topps from sneaking in Gordie Howe. And again, I know this is no secret. Obviously, a lot of people know, but every time I've shown this set, I always forget to talk about it. And again, just under the radar, they didn't have Detroit that year, but they still got Gordie Howe in there. Actually, he's on a couple cards, the exact same pose. And if you look closely here, I'm almost sure that's Dickie Moore from the Montreal Canadiens. And I looked through every card in the set, and I could, you know, Topps was smart. Most of the black and white poses here feature the 3 American teams that are in the set, save for Gordie Howe. And but I'm almost sure that is Dickie Moore from the Montreal Canadiens. So just kind of an interesting observation. The other thing. Where are my key cards? The other cards this gentleman has consigned to us will be featured in a separate video coming up, and they were some doozies as well. But again, it was an honor to get this gentleman's phone call. We've been talking about it for a while, and when he called me to say he was ready to start consigning, again, my, heart starts to go like this. I get off the phone, I do this, because I'm so happy. It's wonderful, it's excellent. I've started to work on his cards, and you will see them on eBay very shortly. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please visit our website, aasportscards.com, to learn how to consign with us. Canadians, we can sell your cards in American money, and while we're very happy to do graded cards, as you can see, a lot of third-party sellers, consigners, do not want to do mid-grade raw. If it's stuff like this, we're your guys. We will gladly do it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you soon with more videos. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.